What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Hope all you're having a great day so far today. Getting into this episode, GH. This episode was a hot ass mess, and I was here for every bit of it. Curtis was ready to pop off. Like, Curtis was like going through his mind is like, okay, how did this happen? Like, did a clerk at the courthouse mess up? Like, somebody head gonna be on gonna roll for this. Because he was like, I'm supposed to be divorced, like, and here I am a whole year later still married. Like, what's good with this? So, Jordan pretty much stepped up to the plate and took the blame for Stella and stuff, because she didn't want Curtis to go off on Stella. She didn't want them to have problems, so she took the blame for it and basically said it was an oversight on her part, because it all happened right around the time she went to Albany for her surgery and stuff, for the kidney issues and all that. So all her mail and the divorce papers all got thrown away, basically. So she took the blame for it, which I thought was cool. I thought it was nice of her to do for Stella, even though in my opinion Stella don't deserve it, but it was nice of her to do, because at the end of the day, her and Stella done came a long way in their relationship. A long way. If y'all all been watching during that time, y'all know Stella was not in favor of Jordan. So, they had issues on top of issues. So, they done came a long way to the place that they're in now. So, Jordan didn't want to rock the boat on that. I think she covered for Stella, not just because of Curtis, but because, like I said, her and Stella came a long way in their relationship. And I think she didn't want to, regress. She didn't want to mess up the progress that they made and go back to fighting and arguing and stuff like that. So she took the blame for it. And she basically told Curtis, listen, once you refile the papers, as soon as I get the papers, I'll sign immediately and we'll get the ball rolling on getting this divorce. Her and Stella was also, after Curtis left, they was talking about the whole DNA testing thing, that company that Stella used. So she gave Jordan all the information on it and stuff. So Jordan immediately got on the phone and called, because she's trying to find the match for Stella that they lost, the match that she had in Port Charles. I think she's hoping that match connects to Portia. I mean, not Portia. Trina. That's who she's hoping that she can connect it to. Jordan is on to something. I feel like Jordan is getting closer and closer to figuring out that Trina is in fact Curtis's daughter. Like, she's moving quickly on this. Like, she ain't playing no games with it. What pissed me off with Curtis was when he went to go talk to Portia and stuff like that, and he was talking about how he's still legally married and whatnot. He told Portia basically he didn't believe Jordan's story, that it was a mishap with the papers and stuff. He didn't believe it. He was on to it. He felt like it was a lie. I mean, he was right about that. But what pissed me off was he basically felt like Jordan purposely got rid of those papers. Like, she deliberately held on to those papers to stay married to him. That's what irritates me with Curtis, because I just feel like he always thinks the worst of Jordan. Like, remember when Jordan came back to town and stuff like that, and she congratulated him on his relationship with Portia and them moving in together, and he was like, oh, are you really congratulating me? Like, are you genuinely happy for me? Or are you just saying that or whatever? He always think the worst of that girl. Like, always. Like, he talk about her sometimes like she the devil incarnate. Like, damn, she can't genuinely be happy for you? It has to be an ulterior motive. Do I think Jordan still got feelings for Curtis? Yeah, I do. But I also feel like she's also genuinely happy for him. She's not trying to sabotage him. But he just his mind keeps going there. I think it was just because of the lies that she told while they was married. I think that just broke his trust in her. To the point where every little thing she say, he just can't believe. You know what I mean? But he need to snap out of that. Because, yeah, she lied to you a few times or whatever during your marriage. But not everything out her mouth is a damn lie. You want to talk about liars, you need to check the chick that you with. Because she had a major lie for your ass. So don't just sit here and keep trying to check Jordan. You need to check that little wifey of yours. That's who you need to check. So anyway, moving on from that, Carly is making all these preparations for her big trip to Aruba and stuff. Her and Jocelyn was meeting up, basically going over some things and whatnot, because Carly still wanted to postpone this trip. And even Jocelyn told her, stop trying to use Ava as an excuse. Same thing Bobby told her. Go on with your life. Like, go to the damn retreat. Stop trying to postpone the retreat because, Ava's still in the hospital. Okay, but she's up, she's alert, she got a guard on her, she's fine. Go. Stop trying to prolong this and go. Live your life. Figure out what you want to do next. And I'm glad Jocelyn told her, like, stop using Ava as an excuse and go. You're stalling. So, you know, her and Sonny had a little cordial moment or whatever when she was leaving and whatnot. She had called Drew and whatever, and he didn't answer the phone. So they pretty much was playing, you know, phone tag with each other. She called him, goes straight to voicemail. She leaves a message. He calls her back. It goes to voicemail. He leaves a message. I'm like, yeah, okay. It's like telephone tag. I'm like, well, damn. So Carly got on the plane and whatnot, you know, and the plane done went through some damn turbulence or whatever, and they had to do an emergency landing. I'm like, oh Lord, Carly, when that plane was doing an emergency landing, my first thought was, did she book a flight with what's that, Spirit airline or whatever? Spirit, let me tell y'all something. If y'all know anything about Spirit, do not fly Spirit. That airline is trash. I'm just saying. That was my first thought when that shit had an emergency land. I said, oh, she must have got that little cheap ass ticket from Spirit, because she should have flew JetBlue or something, or Delta. You wouldn't have had that problem. Spirit ain't shit. I'm just saying. It's not. Take my word for it. I mean, don't take my word for it, but you know, sometimes you gotta experience things for yourself. But Spirit really ain't. It ain't shit. I just gotta put it out there. I'm just saying, it's not. I was like, well, damn, somebody need to come save Carly. Like, what's she gonna do? I'm happy though. Hopefully, she can get to Aruba or whatever for this retreat and figure out her next steps in life. You know, because it's time for Carly to find a new path, you know, and change course, and I'm all for it. So anyway, moving on from that, I totally get where Sasha coming from. You know, I get it. It's hard signing guardianship papers and stuff like that. It is. It's tough. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to feel like they're signing their life rights away and stuff like that. I mean, but the difference is, some people have ulterior motives for when they go into a conservatorship or a guardianship. People have ulterior motives when they do that because they want to control your ass, not just you, but your money. But the difference is, she doesn't have to worry about that with Brando. Brando is not after some coin. He's not after her money. He's not after her assets. He's not after that. He's genuinely trying to help his wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what he's trying to do. And I understand she's nervous about this, you know, because she doesn't want anybody controlling her. She even told Sonny, like, I'm starting to feel like an intruder in my own life by signing those papers. And, you know, Sonny understood that, but it's for the greater good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not forever. You know, only until this thing blows over, you get the help that you need. You go to outpatient therapy. You complete the therapy. You know, you really mend yourself. Like, you really get back to good mental health. Once she's back in good mental health and she's back on the mend, then they could talk about, you know, getting rid of the guardianship, or at least reducing it, or whatever, however long it take, you know. But she got to get herself healthy. This is all for her benefit. And I never thought I would say this, but I'm liking Gladys right about now, because she's being hella supportive, and I'm rocking with it, because I like that she's doing this. Like, she's being very supportive, and I like it. I still don't trust her completely. I'm gonna tell y'all why later, because I had a theory, I had a thought, and I'm not trusting it. But I'm happy that her and Brando made up and stuff over the past and all that. And Brando was like, listen, the past is the past, because, you know, she was upset that, you know, she wasn't the best mom to him before, and she wasn't really there when he needed her back then. But he was like, listen, you're here now, that's all that matters. You know, you here. You know, you've been with me, rocking with me through these trying times, losing my son. So, you know, he was like, listen, we don't even need to talk about the past. That's the past. And I respect it. So Jocelyn went over to talk to Dex and whatnot. And, you know, she was singing his praises or whatever, you know, saying, oh, I prejudged you or whatever, but I still think you're an idiot for working for Sonny, and, you know, because he wrecks lives. See, I was with Jocelyn up until that Sonny shit, because that's what irritates me with her. She uses every little scene Jocelyn gets on the show nowadays. She finds a way to sneak this Sonny in some form or fashion. It's getting old. I understand you're upset with him because of the whole Nina situation and, you know, him hurting your mother or whatever. I get it. Like, she has every right to be angry with the man. But don't sit here and try to criticize the lifestyle Sonny has, or anybody who works for Sonny, when not too long ago she was riding high on that life. Was she not, when her and Esme was going at it and she would name drop Sonny? oh, my uncle Sonny Corinthos. Like, she would name drop him at the drop of a hat. So you had no problem with the lifestyle he lived before, but now that y'all are on the outs, oh, he wrecks people's lives. Oh, he's a thug. But you ain't had no problem with that before when it benefited your ass. But now that is of no benefit to you right now. Oh, you want to bash that lifestyle. That's what irritates me with her. It's like, keep it moving. You don't need to bring up Sonny. You know, people do what they want. Even though she don't know what's really going on with Dex, it's like, don't sit here and bash what he does. You know, that's his business. That's his life, not yours. You're not his lady yet. Also, she definitely gonna hook up with him. Because she told him, oh, I didn't tell anybody about, you know, you helping me dumpster dive for Avi's bracelet. And I would hope that, you know, you keep that to yourself. Because she was like, oh, I haven't even told Cameron about that. See, that's what tells me that she got eyes for Dex. Because if what she was doing with Dex was so innocent and all he was doing was helping you find a bracelet, why don't you want your man to know about it? Why you don't want Cameron to know? If it was so innocent, why you don't want Cameron to know? Because even when she told Cameron about Dex helping her with Ava and stuff and singing his praises, Cameron wasn't tripping. So why you scared to tell him about the whole dumpster thing? He wasn't tripping before, so what makes you think he would trip now? Unless you want something to be more between you and Dex. Because that's the only thing I could think of. Cause why, if it's so damn innocent, you don't want Dex in that way, and you're happy with Cameron, you wouldn't have no problem telling him. Some tell me, yeah, you want that forbidden fruit. That's what you want. I'm just saying. You know, I'm not mad at her, but keep it real about your intentions and about what you want. But I got a feeling she probably gonna keep holding it in because she don't want to hurt Cameron. But deep down, she know what she want, and it's Dex. So anyway, when Dex left, he left his sunglasses on the table. So Jocelyn went out there to go give it to him. Ran after him to go give it to him, and Brando noticed that she ran out. So he was like, okay, let me go check on her, make sure she good. When she went out to go try to find him, somebody was watching Jocelyn, and here it go, the hook man, hook woman, whoever the hell this is. I'm just looking at this. I'm gonna get on that in a second. But Dex came out there, and the hook person noticed Dex and stabbed Dex with the hook, hooked him straight up, slid him up with the hook. And I'm just thinking, what the fuck? Like, what in me? I still know what you did last summer is going on. Like, with this little Ben Willis person. Like, who the fuck is this? All up in a raincoat with a hook. Like, what? Frank Valentini, what are y'all doing? It just felt like I'm watching a reboot of I Know What You Did Last Summer. Because what are we doing here? So now Brando done caught the hook. He's the next victim. I wonder, this is intriguing me though. Because I actually do like it. It's so cheesy, but I like it. I'm interested to know who the hell this is and what are they trying to do. Ava, I can understand why Ava got hooked because that seemed like that was targeted. But Brando, well, Jocelyn was technically the next target, so who the hell is it? Could it be Dex? Because he did leave out of there, and I'm starting to think, maybe, did he have time to put a raincoat on and get a hook? Did he have time? And he was at the party. I do remember him being at the party. Because he dropped off that donation from Sonny. I'm going to keep an eye on him. I wonder. Because if it's not him, who the hell is it? And if it's not Esme, well, it still could be Esme. Because remember, the real target was Jocelyn. That was before Brando came out. Brando came out and kind of spooked the killer or attempted killer. So I think that's why that person went for Brando and not Jocelyn. But Jocelyn was the intended target, clearly. Because whoever was out there was watching her when she came out. This is getting dicey. What's y'all thoughts? Like, who y'all think doing this mess? But going back to what I said earlier about Gladys. I still don't trust Gladys because now that Brando done went down and Sasha done signed them guardianship papers, does that mean while Brando is incapacitated that guardianship reverts to Gladys? Because that would mean that if she gets guardianship over Sasha, she would be in charge of Sasha and her assets, which would mean her shares in deception. I wonder that. I really wonder that. So if he goes down and he's in a coma or something like that, he's incapacitated, I wonder if Gladys could swoop in and take over on his behalf as a proxy. I wonder if that's possible. Because I don't trust her. Ain't no telling what she would do if she had control over Sasha's estate. I wouldn't trust that. Hell to the no. So this is getting interesting. I wonder who this slasher is. Like, who is this person? So anyway, moving on from that. Nicholas fucking Cassadine. Prince Nicholas needs a foot in his ass. I'm telling you, he need to get got. Like, Sonny, I know Sonny is sick and tired of talking to Nicholas, because every time him and Nicholas encounter each other, Sonny just be over it. And he told Nicholas yet again, he said, listen, if I find out your ass had something to do with what happened to Ava, it's a wrap for you. All I need is proof, and I'm going to get you. Because Nicholas was like, listen, that's my wife. You ain't got no say-so over my wife. You sure about that, Nicholas? You ain't got no say-so over your wife, so... Nicholas need to just go sit down for he get a checkup from the neck up. I'm just saying, go sit your little ass down. So this fool went over to Ava's room yet again, acting uncouth, acting a fool. Going up to the door, Frank still won't let him in, so here he go acting out, showing his ass at the hospital. Oh, you gonna let me in there? I'm gonna come in there. That's my wife. That's it. So go on somewhere with this ranting and raving. Because Nicholas, obviously you're not getting in. Because Frank looked like he'd beat your ass. So you might want to take about 4 steps back and get out that man's face. I'm just saying. So Portia done had enough. Because Portia was in the room. Her and Ava was talking and stuff. You know, Ava was congratulating her on her engagement. And, you know, they started talking about if it's possible that Nicholas could be the one that stabbed her. But Ava didn't think so. And was wondering if Liz lied for him to cover for him to give him an alibi or whatnot. Because Portia didn't think Liz would lie to the police on purpose. Unless manipulated. Because that's what Ava was thinking. You know, Nicholas could manipulate her. Which is true. So Portia is sitting there hearing all the commotion outside. She done got enough of it. Portia done went out there and basically told Nicholas, get your ass out of here. She was like, Ava don't want to see you. You're not on the list of visitors. Get out of here if I call security on your ass. So he thought he was going to threaten her too or whatever. So Curtis done had enough. Curtis done walked up. He was like, dude, we got a problem. Get your ass out of here before the cops show up. So of course Nicholas at this point ain't got no choice but to storm off like a little petulant child. So he get on the phone. He like, yeah, I need your help. This fool come back a few minutes later with a goon of his own. Nicholas, he never ceases to amaze me. I'm like, this fool done showed up with a goon of his own. I'm like, sir, stop the shenanigans. Stop it. Frank was like, listen, bitch, you still not coming in here. I don't care who you brought up in here. Like, you still not getting in. So you need to step back. Because Liz and Finn went to go talk to Ava or whatever, and Ava was wondering if Liz lied to the police, but Liz was like, no, I didn't lie to the cops. She was like, me and Nicholas were together, but the thing is, I can't remember if we were together that entire time during your attack. I know after your attack, we were together. I can't recall if we were together when you were attacked. So she basically asked Ava to give her some time before she go to the police with her story, because she wants to get all the facts before she goes to the cops. And you know, Ava was like, alright, cool, whatever. So she basically asked Frank for a favor. Ava was like, I need to see Nicholas. So she probably gonna look Nicholas in the eyes and probably ask him to see what reaction she get out of him, because she want to know for sure. She probably think that if she look him dead in the eye and ask him, she could tell maybe, you know. But Ava was like, you know what, enough is enough. Let me see his little ignorant ass. So Liz pretty much told Finn, like, listen, I need to figure this all out before I go to the cops with this. And she was like, you know, there's only one person that can help me. Honestly, I think she might go to Kevin. I think Kevin is the best person to help her with this, because Kevin could put her under some type of hypnosis and get her to remember those missing moments during the party. I also think he could help her with her original problem of remembering her childhood, like what happened with that lady on the steps. I think that can go a long way too. Like, I think Kevin is the man to help her with all this, because she gonna need some help. Because Liz is missing memory and all this. She gonna need some help. And I think Kevin is just the man to do it. So anyway, that's pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section, let me know what you all thought about it, and I will see you all later. Have a great night. Peace.